What's going on, guys? We are live. It is Monday. I'm standing all weird. What are we talking about today? We have some NXL bracket stuff we're going to discuss. The invasion of Normandy is coming up, and GI Sports released a video that's kind of fun. We're going to watch that. We're going to talk about the Dynasty Aftershock match that happened 2 days ago. And that's kind of going to lead into the title of this a little bit. Should we have different rules for the Pro Division? We're going to find out and discuss. In those brackets, we're going to kind of do a little bit of prediction analysis involving some data. We're going to do like probabilities of who's going to win and kind of just a little bit of information about what's coming up from the tournament. Some brains, Victor, Dizzy, Colt, Chris, Colt, Mike, Pew Pew Mike. Mike makes a bunch of cool shooting videos. Gentlemen, how's it going? And as always, we want to thank the best paintball store on the planet, BFPgear.com. BFP Gear, you know, they're just awesome. They've been helping this channel forever. If you've been a supporter or a watcher of this channel, you'll know that I love BFP Gear. They have just gotten in the new Freak XL stainless steel inserts that are nitride coated. I kind of tried to look up what nitride meant, and it's kind of like this. They're like impregnating the metal sorta with nitrogen to make it super slippery. So these have like a really slick coating to help get rid of paint faster. Possibly you can underbore, and that paint will squeeze through a little bit easier, and you can get a little bit of higher velocity out of them. BFP Gear got them in stock. They're $200, which is only really $75 more than the regular stainless steel XL inserts. So they're not bad. Check out BFP Gear. You know, they have all kinds of stuff. You can get gloves there. You can get socks, I assume. I don't know. Maybe they don't have socks. They've got to have socks. You know, there's lots of paintball companies that make socks. You can get elbow pads, knee pads, paintball guns, barrel covers, all kinds of stuff. You know, they're a full-on paintball store. BFPgear.com. Did I say $75 more? I might have meant to say $25, because the regular stainless steel XL inserts were $175, but they're actually on sale now for $150. So, yeah. Yeah, 75 would be quite a bit more. they're only double the price. I don't know. What are we just going to get into first? We'll just jump right into something. Should we just talk about NXL Midwest Open that is coming up? God, I don't know the exact dates. Yeah, I was going to say the 20th. The 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So in 2 weeks here, and let's just go over and start with this. So these are the brackets we're going to see, and as always, that top tier, that first row, is the highest ranked pro teams, and then followed by the ones below them. So that's why there's tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and these. So what I did here, I'll explain how I came to the conclusion of the probability of teams winning the tournament. So I went through and I got all of the tournaments this year. So there's only been 2, so it's not a ton of information, but got all the matchups. Like, so say Paintball Fit, for example, all the matchups they played in the finals, who they played, if they got a bye, who they played in the quarterfinals, if they won the tournament, just took all their matchups into account, and then ran a Monte Carlo simulation. I was going to try to explain all the statistic stuff, but I've forgotten everything I know. So after all said and done, it's not so surprising, right? What's kind of surprising, though, is maybe the gap in between teams. I mean, we've seen Paintball Fit essentially be just dominant this year. The first event of the year, they went undefeated. They struggled a little bit in Atlantic City. They went 2-2 in the finals, but still ended up winning the tournament at 25% prediction for them to win in Ohio. And Dynasty, only with an 8% chance. It's really kind of crazy just how dominant Paintball Fit are, and it kind of shows that in that little prediction. And this is kind of the same thing. Unfortunately, the writing, is really, really small on here. But I put clear favorites. The clear favorite is going to be Paintball Fit. And they should breeze through their bracket, kind of like they have. I assume they will, at least. I mean, Paintball Fit struggled, like I said, a little bit in Atlantic City, but I presume that they will make it out, at least make it out to play in the Ocho, finals. They should be in that top place. They do have the biggest point differential with a 1.38, and they're 8-1 in their last 9 matches. And then you just have a bunch of challengers too. There's all these teams that are what we would assumed have been the best teams these last 10 years. But now we have Paintball Fit kind of taken out that top one. And what I put in here, all four beat top 10 opponents. So they beat the top 10 teams at least half of the time. That's kind of why they're obviously in that challenger thing. They all have a point margin over 1. And the Dynasty have a really hard bracket because Damage and Arsenal are in there. It's possible that if Dynasty was in an easier bracket without Damage, they would maybe get a little bit higher than that 8.7 or I rounded up to 9 here. Then Russian Legion's bracket's a little bit easier. Yeah. Then there's that middle of the pack, those dark horse teams we like to call them. I got some in my eye. And they have somewhat easy brackets too. Diesel and the Tauntauns, I assume, are going to make it on. Although Diesel's been kind of up and down, but they have been playing very well this year. Tauntauns getting second in Atlantic City was also a very good showing for them. I have high hopes for the Tauntauns. I always really like it when these teams just, from out of town, we'll say, do well at the tournaments. And then maybe we won't cover all the rest of them, but obviously those long shots in there. Uprising, Aftershock, the Hurricanes, and X Factor, which is kind of surprising though. But they've not had, a very good showing this year. I think that we would consider X Factor being disappointing so far, Aftershock being disappointing. Hurricanes would probably say they played disappointing as well. Uprising, though, have played pretty well, so I think maybe that long shot, they're probably the best of those long shot teams. And then, I don't know, this lower tier, who knows, NRG, Leverage, and New York Extreme are not going to win a tournament. And you can see that they average between them a -3 point margin, which is not really good. So we're probably just going to see Paintball Fit dominate, which, I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's always good. It's a really good story for sure. So I think I'm always rooting for those underdogish teams. Paintball Fit has been an underdog team, but I don't know if they are anymore. They've won 3 tournaments in a row, which is very, very impressive. They are right now, of all professional teams ever, through how many tournaments have they played if we're not counting the years they played with AC Dallas? Just as Paintball Fit, they're, I think, the best pro team ever. Through these 7 tournaments, they've won 3. Dynasty, through their first 7 tournaments, won 2. So it's kind of interesting. We'll see what happens. The tournament is coming up mighty soon. What are you guys talking about? Yeah, I was kind of thinking about Paintball Fit. I was thinking about what was I thinking about last night? I was thinking about a lot of the pro players that are playing pro right now kind of have even the guys who are getting paid like say I thought of Alex Goldman or Rainey Stanzak. Those guys can have like other jobs. Like Mouse has a other job, I think, or at least he did. Maybe he doesn't now, and maybe he's just playing paintball. But there's plenty of these guys that are getting paid that still have normal jobs. And that's possible right now because that level of competition has kind of been like that, right? That's kind of what everybody was doing. But now Paintball Fit have kind of taken this to, the next level. Whereas if you're one of those guys that's, on Impact and, you're playing pro and working a job also, maybe that won't be possible anymore. Maybe you're not going to be able to do that. Maybe you're going to have to be able to play 5 to 6 times a week. Maybe not. That's not what I meant to say. 4 to 5 times a week. And, that's hard if you're working 40 hours a week. Whereas Paintball Fit, they're at the paintball field, playing way more than everybody else is. So we might see like a shift in the way pro teams organize their self and all that kind of stuff. We'll see in the future. Speaking of pro paintball, we might as well talk about the Dynasty Aftershock match that happened this weekend. If you guys have been following along, at Vendetta Paintball in Utah, Dynasty and Aftershock played each other in an old school X-Ball match with 25-minute halves, playing 15 balls a second. I tried to do like a members-only live stream and was going to try to just watch it with everybody. And they didn't have any audio. So the live stream that we paid for didn't have any audio. So I watched the live stream for 2 to 3 minutes, and without any commentary or audio or scoreboard, it's essentially impossible to watch. But Dynasty ended up winning 13-10. There is some video. We're going to go real fast. This is Northwest Paint Cover on YouTube, I assume. I'm going to go Northwest because it's NW. And this is the whole entire match. So I actually put the link in the description to this. Go watch it. It's actually interesting. I'll discuss more, but I'll just show this clip really quick. And I don't know who that is down there, but that's Alex Rodriguez running through and probably maybe shooting Arturo or Yosh. That looks like Yosh. Greenspan runs through and just like obliterate each other. Well, I think it's so funny right here is because Ryan's like, I shit him on the arm. He's like, he's hit on the arm. And it's like, look at all the hits. It's like, he's definitely hit in the arm. He's probably saying he shoots him running through right there. But yeah, he's definitely, you definitely shot him in the arm right there. This is long though. Like I said, it's the entire match. And we're not going to watch this whole thing because you guys should just go actually over to Northwest Paint Cover. We'll like that for him. Yes. I lost my train of thought. Go watch it. There's a link in the description. And one of the things that I always kind of found we've kind of talked about for a long time, right, is what would happen if we went back to 15 balls a second. And I was always like, not sure. I kind of thought always that like the guns are too good and like the paint's super good now. And I mean, whatever. It's good enough. Like the players are way good. Like everything's just in general better. So I was always wondering, like, if we shoot 15 balls a second, are guys just going to get shot off the break all the time? And like, how's that going to go? But from watching NW Paint Covers video, it doesn't seem like that. It just didn't seem like that. I was like, I don't know. It didn't really seem different. The one thing that did seem different, though, is it did seem faster. I don't know why. Maybe it's just 15 and everyone just, plays faster because it's 15. Maybe shooting really fast makes you just want to play a little faster or something. But it did seem like it was a little bit quicker and a little bit like higher paced. So that made me wonder. I'm like, why do we even have like the same rules in the pro division as we do like D5? That's kind of weird, right? Because if we look at all other sports, for the most part, you think about like Little League or like, Pop Warner football or whatever it is, they kind of all have different rules. And I don't think that it would be a bad idea, at least, to try that in the pro division or try that throughout paintball. Like, why don't we have different rate of fire rules, right? Why don't we have, like, I wrote, say, for example, D6, so like super, 3-man entry level beginner, maybe through like Division 3, say they shoot 10.5, and then Division 2 is 12.5, semi-pros 13.5, but then when you go to pro, we shoot 15 balls a second. And I don't know, I don't have any problem with that. I've thought for a long time that the whole purpose of the pro division is really kind of entertainment, like Major League Paintball Plus and the whole league kind of exists to provide paintball players entertainment. It's the same reason the NBA exists and like the NFL exists. And it's just really a different form of entertainment. So if we can figure out maybe a way just to make it a little more exciting, just by tweaking the rate of fire stuff, I think would be kind of interesting. Although it's probably never going to happen. I think it's a big change for everyone. And everyone's so against anything changing that it would be difficult to do, but I would like to see that. I think that like making the pro division kind of maybe more like it used to be, like that real X-Ball stuff. Why don't we go down to 16 teams? Let's shoot 15. Let's do 15-minute halves and just do 90 seconds in between points, man. We don't have to do 2 minutes in between points. Do 90 seconds in between points. And I think that maybe we should like rewrite the overshooting rules a little bit, man. Like make them a little bit stricter in the lower divisions. You have different like rules for lower divisions. I gotta imagine that there's different rules for, Pop Warner football, how you can hit people versus, there is in the NFL. I don't know. We seem to always talk about new ways to make paintball a little more interesting. And I don't know. I think 15 was actually kind of cool. I was against it for a long time and kind of just didn't think it was a good idea. But I don't know. In the pro division, who cares? I think that it's not good. It maybe like you're playing rec or something like that. But the pro division can be its own thing. We did that with the original version of the NXL back in, I don't know, what was it, 2004, where they had 15 full auto, and that was the only league that had like real full auto. So it's not like it can't be done. It's not like it hasn't been done before. Let's bring back the intimidators. Doug Drug Pants says uncapped mechanical with no trigger frame restrictions. What do you mean? Like, so you want like double trigger mechanical guns or whatever? I wish we could somehow do, I don't know if I wish we could, but it'd be interesting to like see mechanical. Yeah. Because I even thought about that, like, because I made the Super Stanchi Customs makes a double trigger kit for the EMEC, and I did the double trigger kit for the EMEC, and I can shoot the EMEC with that double trigger at like 15 balls a second. Like, maybe not 15. It's probably like 11, 12. That's pretty crazy for just a mechanical gun. But we always run into bouncing and cheating, and how do we limit like the cheating and stuff, and reducing or limiting the rate of fire has just always been the easiest. I thought it was dope to watch, and I think what you're saying makes sense about the pros. Yeah, I don't know. I know that one of the things we always think about too is that you know, the pro, like people just end up people end up emulating the pros. So it's one of the things that, like, I know at the WCPPL there were some weird overshooting penalties, and it seems like people are shooting people in the heads a lot more, just in general. And I think that, you know, everyone's seeing everyone's seeing Jesus Christ, Clint Johnson. Everyone's seeing Clint Johnson shoot Colt in the head like he did a bunch. It's kind of like, you know, encouraged some other people to do it a little bit. So even playing at 15 balls a second, I know we've tried to always, like, you know, everyone's kind of like looking up to the pros, but, you know, if it's the rules, then it's like, you know, whatever. It's not like a big deal. 15 is like, I mean, what about like 15 in limited paint? What about like 15, but increase the amount of pods? So like make it, I don't know, you know, like 5 pods in a hopper, 15 balls a second or something. I think it'd be interesting. Boy, I'm from DMG. Yeah, Dylan and Justin Cornell. Yeah, they had their standoff. That was pretty cool. 6 pods? Yeah, I think that before I was kind of on board with like 3 to 4 at 10 balls a second, but at 15, I think 5 is kind of cool because it encourages you to move even more. Or I don't know, maybe not. There is something cool though about unlimited paint a little bit. It is a little bit more fun to play, but as we've discussed here many, many times, the rest of the world thinks it's the dumbest thing ever. So I don't know. Yeah, I just think it'd be kind of interesting if we went to 15, you know? But in 2 weeks, I'm going to have some new idea that we're supposed to do. So, so who knows? It'd just be kind of interesting to watch. That's all. You know, over in the Paintball Ruined My Life Facebook group, I hope that I'm logged into Facebook. God damn it. Can I see this if I don't log in? Oh, I guess so. No. What happens if I just do that? Will it just log me in? Or do I have to, like, get my phone and authenticate myself? In the Paintball Ruined My Life Facebook group, there is a raffle going on for a Planet Eclipse EMF 100. There are only 70 tickets in total. Tickets are $10. There are, I don't know, a good portion of spots left, like 20, 30%, something in there. But this will be concluding at a certain point. What date did I put? This raffle, no matter how many tickets are sold, will be concluding on June 16th. So I will be doing the drawing on June 16th. So if you want to, like, you know, win yourself a essentially brand new, I mean, I shot it for a video. I didn't actually like play with it. I just went to the field and went bang, bang. Essentially a brand new EMF 100 with the power stock. You can put the tank in there. There's a magazine somewhere around here. There's a magazine, all that stuff. $10 tickets, you know, help support your local paintball YouTuber. I'm probably the only person buying these guns for reviews. You know, I had to buy this thing. That's why I'm trying to raffle it off. EMF 100. Look at all those. Jesus Christ. I hate like getting messages. Check it out. There's a link in the description. What are you guys talking about? Some brain says the world doesn't want to see teams sit for minutes doing nothing. For sure. That's what I think it's confusing though, because it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to like really stop that. I think that the rate of fire thing though, it seemed like at least this little experiment, it seemed cool. And then coming up in Ohio, they're going to have they're going to do that 3-on-3 kind of exhibition deal to see if they can make like kind of a new interesting format that'll shoot a little bit better for TV. So that'll also be cool. hopefully that pans out and goes well. Gentlemen, make sure to give the live stream a like. If you're here, just like the live stream. I'm going to go turn the air conditioner. Boop. We're back. The CS3 versus the 180R shot quality and ergos. Oh. I don't know. I mean, they do shoot different. Most people are probably going to say that like 180R is a little bit quieter and does kick a little bit less. Me personally, I prefer the ergonomics of the CS3. The grip frame, I think, fits a little bit better in my hands. The grip frame's a little bit like smaller on the bottom, so I kind of like the way it feels in my hand a little bit more. And the front foregrip's a tidbit longer too. Not that much longer. I mean, it's like a tidbit longer, a little bit longer. So it fits in my hand a little bit better. So I kind of like the way that the CS3 feels a little bit in my hands. But I mean, they both shoot so good that it really doesn't matter. It's like minute differences in the way they shoot. Most of the things you're going to get the CS3, you can get the 180R mechanical frame too, but you get a screen, it's a little easier to take apart. It's a little bit nicer, but whether it's worth that extra almost $1,000, not $1,000, extra $700, yeah, I don't know. Nate says he likes limited paint for the lower divisions, paint sharing at the start of the match. I don't know. I think that one of the things, we used to do that back in the day, right? In the Pan Am. Pan Am was like 500 paintballs each or something like that. So you could have 2 pods and a hopper or something. And we used to give pods to the back players so the back players would have more paint. And I don't know. I think that you kind of still get weird situations because if we had say you start with 4 pods or 5 pods, what do you give the back guy? Then the back guy's got 10 pods now. So it's I don't know. You get the back guys with tons of paint again. And then we kind of end up in this weird situation where, players still have a ton of paint. I don't know, though. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows which would work better? It's definitely a little bit easier not to be trading stuff off, though. That's for sure. Some brain says, if lower Ds run fewer pods, cut their match time down, cram in more teams. If the lower divisions run fewer pods, cut their match times down and cram in more teams. Yeah, you could. I mean, that was the problem I said with I didn't say, but one of the problems with going down, I was we should run real X-Ball and go down to 16 teams rather than 20 teams. But the real problem with that is that the league really needs, I think, that entry fee from those other 4 teams to help cover the expenses of the pro field. So, they could go down to 16 teams, but each pro team would have to pay an extra, $1,000 entry or extra $500 for entry, which isn't really, $500 is not that crazy. For these pro teams, what's $2,500 throughout the year? It can't be that much. Curtis says, limiting has not changed the gameplay whatsoever. You either raced for the 50 or it's a low scoring game. Yeah, I haven't watched. I mean, the real problem is I haven't watched, enough limited paint stuff. It's they've been doing it in Europe for a long time. I just don't live in Europe. So it's not something that I necessarily have experienced firsthand. And one boy says, any predictions for the 3-on-3 expedition? I keep saying expedition or exposition. Any predictions for the 3v3 exhibition? I mean, New York Extreme won 7-3 exhibition. Who knows? I don't think they even really care. I don't think they're really doing it. I think they're just getting like some teams together and filming it to see what it looks like. So I don't know if they're necessarily even like running a tournament. I think they might just be, you know, getting teams on the field and just running some points. Because the whole idea behind it was to get like, to make like a couple minute sizzle reel or something like that so they can show it off to future interested parties or whatever. $15,000. Are we talking about $15,000? Do you think 3,000 people tried to stream the event? 3,000. Why? Where'd you get 3,000 from? Like, stream the Aftershock Dynasty event? No, I'm 100. Definitely not. No, not even close. $15,000. Did somebody say there were 3,000 people that streamed it? There's no way. I mean, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, because maybe at $5 a piece they did. Because Ghost Sports has like, I think like Major League Paintball has like, I don't know, man, like, I don't know. But I don't think it's dramatically more than that. I think like when we're watching tournaments, Ghost Sports probably has like 12 to 10,000 subscribers, I would bet. Man, at one point I actually knew. I just totally forgot. SR 1990. It's possible though, you know, because they just transmit the stream out. You know, it's like, you know, I don't have enough bandwidth for you guys watching. I couldn't stream this to 95 people. You know, it just goes to YouTube and then YouTube does it for me. But I did notice that the frame rate was weird. Was it probably wasn't 15 frames. It was more like 20. It was definitely like tick, 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 tick. Herky jerky though. And you know, I'd have been okay if the audio worked. I probably wouldn't have really had a problem if the audio worked. It was just kind of like, okay. Yeah, that'd be crazy if you were like serving every single IP address. Like, hopefully they're not doing that. I don't know if they ever got audio working either. I was looking at the comments on Instagram and stuff, and they were saying they were trying to get it. They tried to get it to work, but they were struggling to get it back up or something like that. I don't know. We can check this out. Coming up in about a month, July 11th through the 13th is the legendary, we'll close some of these tabs, the legendary Invasion of Normandy event. Invasion of Normandy. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Invasion of Normandy happens in Pennsylvania at Skirmish Paintball every single year. And there's a couple different pricings if you actually want to go to this thing. So right now, it's $100 for all 3 days until July 9th. And then after July 9th, like 2 days before the thing starts, it goes up to like 110 or 120 or something. Paintballs right now are $75 or $85 a case. And you know, I don't know. That seems like a ton of money. Like it's not actually that bad, you know? So you think entry for technically a 2-day event, there's actually a Friday night game as well. So they're going to play Friday night and then all day until 9 p.m. on Saturday. And then Saturday morning, I think until like, or Sunday, I should say, 9 a.m. to like 2 p.m. or something like that. And it's certainly a lot, but not really, you know? I mean, it's 3 days, 2 days of paintball. That includes entry, air. Actually includes rental equipment if you want to use it. But it's just like a, you know, really big fun event. So even if you don't live close by, this is going to be one of the more fun, you know, kind of things to do. That's John Dresser, I think. That guy's just crazy. Look at all those welts on that guy. Jesus Christ. That made me nervous right there. I hope that guy had like a cup on or slider shorts. Invasion of Normandy. A lot of people call this Ion. This is what I kind of wish we had more of, actually, within Paintball. More of these, like, one-off, cool paintball tournaments. Look at all those goddamn people. I think this video is from 2023 or 2024 or something like that. How many of you guys have gone to this? Who has actually gone to Ion? The invasion of Normandy. Yeah, that guy running around with his freaking shorts on is insane. Switch PB for sure. They have a ton of vendors as well. Yeah, they always have cool people though too. It's not just like big companies. You get about a lot of like weird companies, right? All the guys that are making like little knickknacks and like cool pump guns and like, you know, just random stuff. It's all the like cottage brands more so. Then you're not getting probably Die rolling up with a huge trailer or like, you know, GI Sports. Although GI might because they're bringing paint out or something. It's much more of like a... It definitely feels more like a community than you get at the paintball tournaments. Because the tournaments are all competitive and, you know, it's just a different atmosphere. Where like Ion, it's like, oh, you know, who cares? I mean, it'd be cool if your team won, but not really. You know, it's not really why you're there. Where they're just there to have fun and get drunk in a parking lot. Inception, Gator Mail, and a bunch of East Coast stores. I don't even know what Gator Mail is. Eric, my God, Eric's like paintball savior. Eric gave me a bunch of stuff to give away to you guys, which we're going to do. Not right now, but not even today, because we're going to like slowly give them away. I'm going to try to build some stuff. Like Eric gave me a cool Dynasty goggle frame, and I'll try to get like stuff to actually build a mask. Eric's awesome. You're the man, Eric. That's EP, by the way. You got home safely? I always worry. Eric rides a Aprilia motorcycle, and I always worry when he drives away. I'm like, oh, safe, Eric. Lots of people tailgating, cooking out, and camping. Yeah, it's just like a fun atmosphere. It's like totally different than like a normal paintball tournament. It's kind of like a little bit maybe what like paintball tournaments were like 20 years ago. Something like that. Chris Martin says, did you see the video Tim Furpo put up on the carbon loader? Yes. I did. Let's go. Let's watch Tim's video. We can watch Tim's video. I actually know Tim, so he's not, you know. Let's, paintball tech carbon? What if we put that in? How about drive? Oh, I guess it is. PB tech. That's Tim Furpo. Tim's great. Tim's a local to me. That's why it looks like he lives in the desert. I remember this now. Okay, let's turn the audio on. Tim owns a company called Paintball Tech with a K. PB Tech, Paintball Tech. His website's Paintball Tech with a K. And he is super good at fixing stuff. So he works for Planet Eclipse. He's built not most, but a lot, maybe all, I don't know, of the Twister autocockers. Done tons of stuff. So Tim's like
Tim with Paintball Tech. Got a shooting
real
video
good
for
at, you know, fixing stuff.
However, this is not to show off a marker, but to show off a new hopper. This is the Carbon DRV.
You guys can hear, right?
These are coming to stores soon. I was lucky enough to snag one from a friend at the WCPPL this last weekend. And they said it's fast.
B.
I figured I'd grab one and put it through its paces.
So really what I want to see, we'll watch this. We'll watch the rate of fire test, because one of the things that, you know, Carbon's been claiming is just how fast the thing feeds. And
70-ish.
with an onslaught, let's see how fast it shoots. One thing to note is the cows in the background. See the cows in the background. This guy's like, whoa! What the fuck you doing over there? Okay. It's fast. Look at that little cow running in the background. He's like, I'm out of here, dude. What the fuck? Look at that guy running.
That's fast. That topped the board out at 25, at least according to the circuit board. So, just pull it apart and show you what's inside real quick.
It's so funny how there's like a bee in the background.
Comes apart with these two little clips in the back. Hinges on the front.
Yeah.
Super simple.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, you know, it's cool that it feeds fast, but, you know, I don't know.
Like this.
You know, I don't know why I need a hopper to feed fast, so it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, it's cooler that it's
The drive
is fast and slow. You know, that's good, I guess.
Super strong.
One of the things that
Quick.
some of the hoppers aren't so good at is that initial, like, super quick feed rate.
They do not
And
look like they'll wear out anytime.
having the hopper just feed extremely fast can hopefully get rid of that, like, initial burst, or it should improve that initial burst speed. One of the things that, like, it's possible that the spires of the control aren't as good as that initial, like, like that really quick initial burst of paint. Because, you know, I think our guns are going from 0 to 10 balls a second instantaneously. And some of the hoppers just feed faster. Like, you know, a Halo 2 is actually quicker. The rotors are quicker. So maybe the carbon drive is quick too. See, it's just hard to tell, right? You get that initial, like, and then it starts going. But that's probably him just, like, shooting, not, like, perfect. The carbon drive. They are $300. They are a little bit heavy. And it does have an LCD screen on the back that I don't know how useful it is. That's Tim looking at the carbon drive. On an onslaught. 300 smackaroos. 300 big ones. Apparently it's made really well. I haven't actually touched one in person, but everybody says how well they are made, so that's good too. You know, I think I'm okay paying for stuff that's made really, really well. I have no problem with paying more for quality things. Even if, like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, well, I mean, kind of, it doesn't matter, you know, but I think about, like, you know, I don't know, all the other hoppers, and it's like, you know, they're all in that 200-ish, 250 price sometimes. And if the carbon hopper is, to me, you know, feels a little bit better and is made a little bit better and feels a little bit higher quality than, like, the Spire 5 or whatever, it might be worth it to me, because I don't know, I like the stuff that feels good to touch and, like, just feels like it's high quality. So for me, it might be worth it. And there are hoppers, like, say, the rotor. I think the rotors feel higher quality than the Virtue hoppers. I mean, the rotors are just, like, super well made, but they got problems, you know, they got a little jamming and all this crap. So it's like, I'd kind of like to avoid the jamming. Don't support diddler. Do I support a diddler? In a way, I guess. Don't we all? Anyway. I do kind of like the new clear, like, clear colors on the oh, do I not have Firefox? Oh, I do kind of like the, like, clear hoppers, the, like, new clear, like, Spire colors. There's my mouse. Whoa, where do we got Virtue loaders? The Virtue loaders. Virtual loaders. Yeah, I kind of like these. They just kind of look cool. Although I kind of wish the whole thing was clear, you know? But I think that they have problems with the eyes working and stuff when they make the whole copper clear, so... Not so much on the fade ones, though, but I do kind of like these, like, clear tops. They're just kind of cool looking. Amethyst is cool. It's my birthstone. Yeah, I like clear hoppers. I just like clear stuff. It just kind of looks cool. Should bring back System X. You guys remember System X? So System X, let's System X, Paintball. I don't know what else to search for. System X made like a bunch of crappy stuff. They made this thing, the Enemy. These were trash. The System X Enemy, these were just god awful. But System X made you know what's funny is I forget how to spell angel sometimes. I'm like, is that angel or angle? They made a bunch of clear stuff. So like, here's somebody's YouTube video. Trev! Redhead Trev here on YouTube is like, sometimes we see him in here. Has like literally the craziest angel collection anyone has ever seen. I mean, like, what is this? A custom Rainmaker? I mean, the guns he has are just like, look at this. I think he has like every Adrenaline LCD, and like he has like the Feather LCD Adrenaline. Like, these are like holy grail guns. I had one of these when I was like 22 or 20. Yeah, probably like 20, 19, that exact color. He's just crazy. But System X made all this clear crap back in the day. So you can see that volumizer on the front of there. It had this breech they made that was clear. He has the clear trigger on there. There's a clear sight rail. They made a clear battery cover. They made actually a clear barrel tip. And it was all pretty terrible. None of it was good. None of it was good. It was all so awful. Shout out Paintball fam. All System X. System X would be cool though. I'd like to see a clear barrel. Why not? I just got an idea. I gotta write something down while I'm thinking about it. Where are my guys Mark and Chris at? Are they in here? I gotta put... Okay. Okay, parts written down. Ramrod barrel was technically clear. That's true. It was clear. Saw a dude with a working clear LCD the other day in the Angel Facebook. Like the body was clear? The ramrod was clear. That's funny though. I thought the next innovation in paintball would be the ability to adjust your velocity or output pressure electronically using the LCD board. I don't know. I don't know if we, like, I don't know if it makes sense to do it though, right? I know we've like, we've talked about like how that would work, but I don't think it's really possible. You know, think about how you would do that. So right now, the way you're doing it is you're turning a screw in, right? So wherever it's at, you know, you turn a screw in, whether it's on your regulator, I mean, technically not on your, you know, tank reg, it's not like that, but let's say your gun, right? All the time you're turning a screw in. So you'd have to somehow electronically adjust that screw. So we'd have to install like electric motor or something, or there'd be some sort of moving parts inside the gun, which we probably could do it, right? But it might not really be necessarily worth it just because it increased the complexity so much and it'd be just so expensive. It would be really, really cool though. Like, to be able to like, I want my gun to work at 135 PSI and you just like put it in or whatever. There very well could be other ways to do it too. I just don't know. But obviously something has to move, you know, because you have to like increase the pressure somehow. So something's got to move. There we go. You could have a pneumatic leveled electronic reg solenoid. It would add a layer of complexity for sure. A pneumatically leveled electronic regulated solenoid, I assume. I don't even know. Yeah, we don't even like, you know, you don't really adjust your pressure that much anyway. I do think it's cool though, how some of the guns have like, you know, the pressure transducer, so you can actually see the regulator pressure on the board. I think that's probably all you need, right? Because to electronically see the pressure, and if it's perfectly accurate, that's probably good enough, right? And you could just adjust, you know, you can just adjust the pressure like you regularly would. It just kind of shows up electronically. The Angel Air, we're talking about Angels. The Angel Air was like the first one to do that. Yeah, could you like somehow electronically control a valve or something that would let less air in or something like that? I mean, you could do it with magnets and stuff, but I don't know. Who knows? The Assault 80. And I don't know too, you know, like we've always talked about like, you know, it doesn't really matter what your operating pressure is either, you know, because you go to radar and you're like 280. You're like good to go, or it's like 240. You know, either way you got to turn the pressure up. It's just kind of good for like, you know, troubleshooting or stuff like that, I would say. Medical devices. Oh shit, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Something's coming back to me. Brandon said they do it for medical devices that are much smaller. That's just like a medical device, kind of like, I don't know. I've looked into this before now. Now I'm like thinking about, I don't know. I've either looked into this before and just totally forgotten, or another company was going to do it and I looked into their technology and it was in medical stuff, maybe. Our guns mostly shoot hot from the heat rising and making the air expand. Yeah, I mean, kind of. It depends on, you know, when you're radaring it. If you like radar in the morning and then go, you know, in the afternoon, for sure. It's really kind of always air pressure. It's either like always air temperature or, I mean, it could be a lot of stuff, really. You know, it could be a bunch of stuff. But most of the time, you know, nowadays, like, I remember going to the field, like, back in the day, and guns would be all over the place. You know, you'd go one weekend in radar, and then you'd come back the next weekend, and it's going to be, like, plus 50 or something crazy. And now it's like, every time I radar, it's like 270. Like, you know, my gun's, like, always right. It's like, I rarely even have to adjust the velocity anymore. And I'm fine with that. Like, I just go out, I'm shooting 265, whatever. Sounds good. Like, I'm not really caring too much. 3M. What about a 3M? Like 3M, the tape company? 15 balls a second, semi only. Thoughts? I like the 15. I just am weird about semi, you know, like it's just so hard to monitor, and there have been so many problems in the past with cheating. I just don't know. You know, I up until watching 15 balls a second like the past weekend, I kind of didn't think 15 would work either, and it seemed like it was better. So who knows? I mean, maybe if we went back to semi, we wouldn't have those cheating problems. I would like to say there's a better way to monitor that stuff, and there is a better way to monitor, you know, whether people are cheating or whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of software solutions we could do, or, you know, you can only use this thing, or, you know, whatever. But that stuff gets expensive, and it's really difficult to enforce. Maybe in the pro division you could enforce it, but it would be more difficult to probably enforce in the lower divisions. You know, like putting software in guns, or like the old MPPL did. They made you put like a little microchip deal inside your gun to monitor things. They didn't really monitor that. It was more for monitoring like rate of fire and stuff. Not rate of fire, but volume. 15 semi. It was weird too. Like, I can't shoot fast. So like, we got a gun like set up perfectly how I liked it, and I'm like, this is the best setup for me to shoot semi-auto. You know, I can probably shoot like 11 or 12. Somewhere in there. But I definitely have friends that can like cap 15 out, and it seems like they're shooting full auto because they can just hit the 15 cap, and this gun's just like perfectly shooting 15, which is crazy to me. I can't do that at all. Not at all. You know, so for me, I kind of like that higher rate of fire thing. If I have any other cool paintball topics we can talk about. I don't think so. I think I kind of covered everything I wanted to talk about. You can head over to the Paintball Ruined My Life store and pick up some headbands. Paintball Ruined My Life headbands. There's headbands over there for only $30. Or $75 for a 3-pack. You can get hats over there like this one. There's some t-shirts, some... I was going to say sweatpants. No sweatpants, sweatshirts. Hoodies, I think only. There were some crew necks. There are no crew necks anymore. Just hoodies, t-shirts. There's some long sleeves, barrel covers, stickers. Buy some Paintball Ruin My Life merch and help support the channel. Hostility. Welcome. Some brain says true semi was reticular cancer. Rectal cancer. Reticular. For sure. Talk about mech paintball popularity. What about it? It's popular. Sorta. I think it's kind of peaky though, right? I really want to like play a 7-man mechanical tournament. That's what I want to do. Sleeping Bear says, would you be allowed to shoot mechanical at 15 semi? Nope. They won't let you. Because you can't cap the rate of fire. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, they won't even let you use a pump gun. Technically, you can't use a pump gun. So you have to use an electronic gun that caps the rate of fire. I know back in the day when the MPPL in like, you know, 2007 or 8, whatever, when they capped the rate of fire at 15 balls a second, there were people that wanted to use autocockers, and they wouldn't even let people use cockers anymore because they can't cap the rate of fire. They should bring back local strippers to be cheerleaders. Ohio should be interesting. It's not gonna happen no more, unfortunately. Or fortunately, it's kind of always weird. Cheerleaders was interesting, though, how the MPPL had cheerleaders for a little bit. Dave just bought 2 tickets a while back for the EMF raffle, but I don't see my name on the list. Absolutely. I'm not going to check right this moment, but I'm going to put it in my notes. And I will definitely do that. Either later this evening or tomorrow morning. Raffle ticket. Bam. I will check 100%. I know, honestly, the raffle's been going so slow. These tickets have taken so long, just so slow. Sometimes I've missed some of the payments people made, so sorry. I would check even now. I just don't. It would probably take me like 5 minutes, so oh, we don't really want to watch that. NPPL. Why can't you cap a cocker's rate of fire? Well, you could, yeah, you can on an E-blade, I guess. I just mean like mechanical autocockers. You for sure can on an E-blade, I think. I don't even know. I assume so. But yeah, they were just guys. They wanted to use mechanical, cockers. What do you think of the next NXL layout will be like? A lot of big stuff in the middle. That's kind of been the trend, is put like, just a bunch of big stuff in the middle, which, I don't know. It's cool, I guess. I don't know. That's what it'll be like. Old Soul, only 39 likes, guys. Yeah, people don't like these videos. We tell people to like it, people are going to unlike it. That's okay. Just like the actual videos that I put out. If you actually like and comment on the actual real ones, that'd be cool. They need to bring that giant inflatable pyramid for 10-man over. I was like, they do have it, but for put it on the X-ball field, it'd cover like half the field up. It'd be like 70% of the width of the field or something. That would be fine. Den something, I don't know. I started playing again after 10 years. I took like a year break once. That was the longest I didn't play. Chris, when's ProFlex video dropping for you? It should be Wednesday. I should have it finished tomorrow. I just have to do like some audio stuff, and there's like a few random things I need to do still. But I should finish it tomorrow. So the goal is at least by Wednesday, the JT ProFlex video will be out for channel members. And what is the actual title of that video probably going to be called? It's probably going to be called Why the JT ProFlex... No, I'm going to put... Jeez, I keep burping. No, that's not what I want it to be. I think I want it to be the JT ProFlex, the mask the paintball couldn't kill. Or the JT ProFlex, the mask they can't kill. They tried to kill the ProFlex, but the players fought back. That's too long. Something like that. What I'm going to find interesting is the ProFlex. That title kind of like represents that... just the weirdness that JT kind of went through with their masks. They came out with the GSX was their first mask, and they came out with the Whippersnapper. They came out with the first version of the Flex 7 in 2000. No, 1997, which is crazy. So 97 was the first version of the Flex came out, and JT have made a bunch of masks since then. They made the Proteus, they made the Axiom, they made the Reaper, they've made the Status, they made all kinds of stuff. That the Flex 8, there's all kinds of different masks, and everyone still just wears the ProFlex. So JT's tried to like continually replace the ProFlex, and they just never done it because the ProFlex is just so good that people just keep coming back to the ProFlex. I don't really know why. You know, I think the Carbon Zero is probably a better mask. You know, oh well. Hostility. There's been dozens of masks you could see at Walmart. I don't know. Replacing the lens on a Proflex? Yeah, it's not the smoothest thing to do. It just takes a little bit of time. Proflex, the Hitachi wand of paintball masks. Is it though? Hitachis, are they popular? They're not so popular anymore. There's a bunch of like people just, the ladies are just buying like, you know, cheap ones on Amazon probably. Oh, you want to get one? You want to get a wand that lasts a long time? You got to go brand name. Evil Lemons. The Carbon is comfy, but the JT is just as comfy for a third of the price. I'm with you. I don't think that. I actually don't know if one's more comfortable personally. You know, I think that they're both great. The only thing that I think like is better about the Carbon mask is it's just easier to take apart. You know, I mean, it's so much easier to change the lenses and just kind of like fix it. It's just a nicer mask. But there's also something to be said about, like, I keep looking at my Proflex. There's also something to be said about, like, the simplicity of the Proflex. You know, there's not a lot of parts and weirdness going on. It's just a very simple, basic product, which works well. And a lot of the times, those simple things tend to work a little bit better. You know, it's kind of like one of the reasons maybe the Planet Eclipse guns have been so successful is because they're just maybe not. Oh, I forgot I had the smoke machine on. This should. Yeah, one of the things that Planet Eclipse guns, they've just been not simple. It's not like they're like, you know, spiders, but they've for sure been a little bit more basic, maybe we'll say, than some of the other guns out there. Chris says, I use a steam cleaner on my frames to make it easier to swap out the lenses. Really? I don't. I've changed. I don't know. 1,000 lenses on a Proflex, and the newer frames are so much easier. I mean, the older frames, like 2006 and 8 or whatever, when those frames were brand new, they were for sure more difficult. And back in the day, I used to have to get a screwdriver and like jam it in between the lens and the goggle frame and like pry the goggle frame off. Now I can just pull it off. Like I can just rip off the goggle frame. So it's gotten a little easier, but yeah, it's still a pain in the ass for sure. Reckless Lemon says, I feel like the E-Flex was better due to its ease of lens change. For sure. I liked the E-Flex. I mean, I wore the E-Flex for, long ass time. There's also one right there. One thing I didn't like about the E-Flex is that factory, the foam was a little bit like thicker. So I feel like the mask pushed off my head a little bit more than I would like, but that's just maybe changing the foam. I actually never changed the foam on one either, so I didn't actually like try to get smaller foam. E-Flex was great too. I mean, you can still buy an E-Flex though too. I remember when the JT barrel plugs had a built-in tool to change the lenses. I don't even know anything about that. I probably know the barrel plug you're talking about, but I wasn't even aware they had like a little hook thing. Why am I thinking of a yellow barrel plug though? Is it the yellow ones that they made forever? No. The tip of the plug was molded into a fork-like shape. Huh. I don't know. Maybe that was before me, too. I really don't know. I searched, like, Tipman, or I sure JT barrel cover, and just the ones that I know of came up. And man, barrel plugs. Anyway, well, I won't just look at barrel plugs all night. Damn, sleeping versus my frames had to be cut to put the lenses in. They must have had factory defects. Good lord. I actually did take a lens out of a brand new mask this past week and had paint on it, which was kind of weird. Question. Haven't played in 5 years. I have an almost brand new Dye i4. Never took or hit in the lens. Been in an air conditioner environment all this time. Should I change the lens or should it be good? Yeah, you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you're fine. It might they might technically be like, you got to change the lens every year, but that's crazy. You're fine. Yeah. 100% you're good. I mean, if you're really, really worried, you can get a new lens, but I wouldn't. I'd play with it 100%. I mean, I'm playing with lenses that have, they're way over a year old. 5 years old? Yeah, I probably have lenses that are 5 years old I play with. I mean, that E-Flex, that lens and that mask right there, you can't see it 'cause it's so dark, but it's right there. It's 5 years old, and I'd use it for sure. Yeah, you're okay. Brandon. What do you think is better to entice renters to come out more often? Better quality paint or better quality rental markers? Guns, yeah. Because I think that like most places that are using like not as good quality guns, right? They're probably using like Tipmans. They're most likely using Tipmans, or they have like old, like a Zodins or old Spiders or something like that, but they're most likely using Tipmans. And most of the Tipmans are fine, but there's a huge difference between like, a Tipman 98 and an EMEC. And even if the paint's not good, it's still going to be better out of the EMEC, right? You're going to break less paint. The gun's just going to shoot straighter. It's going to kick less. It's going to just feel like a nicer thing to shoot, right? Those Tipmans are like loud and clanky, and especially for little kids, they don't like that. So having the guns be a little less like, crazy. I'm having like, I should maybe close that tab. Yeah, so I think better guns probably over those two, but also good masks. I mean, a lot of paintball fields have cheap masks, and like, if you got to wear a shitty mask all day long, and it's like fogging and uncomfortable and you can't see anything, then, the paint and the gun don't matter at all. So it's probably everything, really. It's all of those things kind of put together, I guess, you kind of need a lot of stuff. It's my non-answer. Dude, I don't know what is going on with the computer, though. Keep, like, capping stuff out. My field uses cheap carbon masks, which aren't bad. I have one of those over there. They're not terrible, as long as they have thermal lenses. I think that's like the big problem. And then like thermal lenses just like don't work sometimes. Am I like lagging out? Do you guys keep seeing me like skip and stuff like that? Those thermal lenses though, they're just not as durable. So it's hard to give like someone who's never played paintball a thermal lens, and then it might be fine, they might weird it out, but you're certainly not going to damage it. A single lens, you're certainly not going to damage. I don't know what the hell's going on. Let's close this tab. It says like the internet is giving me, not the internet, it says that the Brave browser is causing problems. Super chat from Fourth. I don't know, man. I was like, I'm trying to decipher the name. Keep doing what you're doing, of course. I appreciate it. Best paintball content on the tubes. Thank you. Super chats are very, very much helpful, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys. Everybody for watching, not watching. Well, I don't appreciate you if you're not watching. But whatever you're doing to help this thing. 4-letter man. Okay. I was like, maybe LTR? Because then the paintball hopper, the LTR? I was like, I don't know. Super chats, thank you, sir. Really. Sleepy Invader says, yeah, my field uses Emacs, which is awesome. I know a lot of fields do. I think most of them around me do. With the full auto valves and the speedster loaders to match the speedballers. Interesting. They're violating their... I'm pretty sure they're violating their insurance policy. Yep, they're 100% violating their insurance policy. Because they're technically not allowed to have, like, real full auto. I think you can have, like, full auto, like we have full auto. You know how you have to, like, pull the trigger 3 times and it starts shooting? And if you could hold it down, that would be full auto. But then you let go, and then you have to pull it 3 more times, for it to be full auto. So it's kind of not full auto. Whereas, like, these things, you just hold the trigger down and it starts shooting full auto. So it's like, it's a little shady. You gotta shine that waiver, but then somebody gets hurt, and then the insurance company is like, wait a minute, you're using products that violate your policy. And then, like, the insurance company is like, not helping you. That would be scary. I assume, I don't really know, but I assume most paintball fields can't have, like, real full auto. That's the whole reason we don't have real full auto. Man, see, like, we're going fine now. Now what happens if I open the browser again? We're gonna, like, just eat shit, probably. But I kind of want to be able to see the chat, Full auto. Update Brave, we're already fully updated. Man, I really wish Safari, dude. Safari is so fast on Max. Like, it is so fast. It's, like, instantaneous. But, like, I don't know. The extensions suck, and it's, like, kind of weird. I hate how the extensions work. They make you, like, install extensions on the operating system, not in the browser. And then they're, like, always running even when you're not, like, using the browser. It's, like... It's fucking retarded. I don't like it. It's my upload. It's definitely not my upload speed. We definitely have enough upload speed. I don't think that's the problem. It's really the Chromium browser. It's a never-ending struggle. And then I start, like, doing weird stuff with the computer and it gets weird. I need a gaming PC. I'm gonna shoot myself in the head before I buy a gaming PC. A Tech PB, or Tech T, 4-letter man. Tech T also have their auto valves that are only 6 to 7 balls a second, supposedly. Yeah, that's about what they all are. I think that HK made theirs. Planet Eclipse tell you not to buy it because it's, like, bad and stuff. But they're kind of weird. They're really like... They're not, like, super consistent. I haven't heard anyone talk about Tech T in forever either. Man, all the, like, Tech T stuff is, like, awful. So I don't really hear about, like, Tech T so much anymore. Huh. Disable hardware acceleration. I think I need hardware acceleration. If we rely on, like, software encoding, I think we'll shit a brick. I don't know. I'm definitely not having bandwidth problems. I can, like, like see right there that all the cores are maxed out on the CPU. Anyway, computers. I hurt my calf today. Oh, in Chrome. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even think it matters at all because I'll have like who knows? Who knows? I mean, there's a bunch of extensions I have installed too that I sometimes disable before live streams because they get weird, but just restarting Brave and it's perfectly fine. So gaming PCs are elite for performance. Not really though. Are they? I don't know. Well, if I spent as much money on a gaming PC as I did, if I bought like the most expensive Mac Studio you could buy, it'd probably work better than this, but I don't want to spend like $4,000 on a GPU to like make some crazy gaming computer that I wouldn't use. If I played video games, maybe it would make sense, but I don't really have any reason to own some crazy GPU. Anyway, LOL, I played Pro in 2004. Who'd you play Pro for, anonymous person? Let's go back to uncapped ramping. When did we ever do uncapped ramping? I don't think we did uncapped ramping. So you want to shoot like 28 balls a second? I don't really want to do that. Here we are standing. We've reached a lull. I was going to see if I have a... I was going to show you guys something, but I guess I don't have that ready, so never mind. Should say next live stream, and hopefully many from here on. Any pro channel members, or any channel members at all, I should say, because there's only one level. Gonna start doing giveaways every single live stream. So like next live stream for sure. Got one of those. I don't know how to like really pronounce this, right? Like I think they want to say like my freaking ears in focus. A tactics? I think that's how that's like pronounced. A tactics? This is the Headband Hero. I'm like 99% sure Hero. You guys saw this is that like aluminum kind of like headband tie thing. I'll demo that next time. I'm gonna give one of those away. Give some Paintball Ruin My Life headbands away. Here's one of them, as well as a pocket stand from Paintball DNA, and probably some other stuff. This is just stuff that's laying right there. I definitely want to do. Then the next week, I want to build a Freak XL barrel kit and give it away. There's Hormesis stuff we're going to give away that Eric gave me, all kinds of stuff. So I want to like do giveaways literally every single time to those channel members, like Hostility there. Is that headband retention device? Yes. Yeah, we will talk. Oh, I might as well. We'll just talk about it right now, I guess. So, I don't have my camera, like, set up, though, for the top-down shot. That right there. And they come in, like, a bunch of different colors. It's, like, machined aluminum. It's kind of hard because it wants to, like, look at my face. You can see those things, like, kind of, like, go to the middle and then back out. And the way this works is you have your headband, got this thing, you go through, then in through. I might have done this like backwards. I think I did, yeah. So the terry cloth is going to be on the outside, but it's really easy to put together. You just kind of put them through. I'm actually shocked at how well this works, right? So you have it like that. It's pretty simple. Terry cloth on the outside, and you just like, and you can just pull it tight. I think I like, and like, it's actually shocking, like, how like well they like stay together. You know, you don't have to like double knot it, and it's like way like smooth in the back. So it's just all one thing rather than like knotting it, and it's definitely not as comfortable with the knot in the back. So it's actually kind of cool. It works really well. You know, obviously it's not something you need, but it works really good. You don't have to like, you know, do anything crazy. And you can just pull on the sides, you know, and it gets tighter. They're pretty cool. They got a bunch of different colors and stuff. There's no link in the description, but if you search tactics like that, if it will focus, ATTKTX, it'll come up for sure. They make a bunch of cool stuff. They're making twister pneumatics and stuff like that, I saw. But everything's made like super, super well. They're all machined and made here in the USA. Like super high quality. You can take it apart. It's got like screws right there. Comes with additional screws. I think it's kind of neat. I like how they're made so well. I talked about that too. I like that it's made well. Nick Sloviak showed me the HB Hero at Cup. They're cool. They actually are neat. Like, I first saw it and I was like, oh, okay. And I just didn't expect it to like work so well, you know? It just works well. And it actually is comfortable. It certainly makes it more comfortable. Because you don't have to like, I feel like with my headbands, I gotta like, all headbands, right? I feel like I gotta tie them really tight to make sure they don't move around. Because if it comes undone or loose a little bit, it's gonna move around. But these, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna come loose either. So you can just like put it on. And you don't have to like, you know, cinch the thing down like crazy tight. I pre-ordered it immediately after he showed me. They're cool. Yeah, there's a 2-band also, so they make like a thicker one. They're not thicker, it's a little bit wider to accommodate like 2 headbands. So if you want to wear 2 headbands. I don't know what I'm doing. I was kind of put that over there for some reason. Happy Monday? Happy Monday. Yeah. Mondays are kind of okay. Doing the live streams, I feel so unproductive because I like have to focus on the live stream. So it's like hard for me to do anything else, which is, you know, I don't know. That's how it is. Yep. Giveaways next time, next live stream. So if you want to be involved in the giveaway, you have to be a channel member. You become a channel member by following that link right there on the screen, and it will take you over to the Paintball Ruined My Life membership jam. It'll look like this if you're on a desktop. It'll go to something different if you're on, you know, a phone, obviously. Memberships are $10. You get these cool badges in the live streams. You get early access to new videos. So like the JT Proflex video that will be coming out Wednesday for channel members. They will get that about a week early. You get exclusive channel member videos, like there's a Dynasty video, fairly recent Dynasty video that is only available to channel members. Merch discounts, members only live streams, like, you know, Saturday I tried to do one for the Dynasty Aftershock thing. And giveaways as well, but they don't actually let you put giveaways on here because technically it violates the terms of service. So I can't put it on there. But you will be involved in those giveaways too. Think about support your boy and become a channel member. What are we talking about? Or I'm gonna go. I got to the bathroom really bad. I went to the paintball field Sunday. Nobody was there. Well, there were some people there, but it was pretty dead. Impact were practicing out at the paintball field. Impact were playing. I don't know. I don't know who Impact were playing, but I didn't go over there and watch it all. So I don't know what they were doing. Probably, dicking around. Minus Marcelo Margot. Marcelo, was in Florida practicing with Tampa Bay Damage. Dude, Damage is going to be legit. I mean, they're starting 5. Damage is starting 5. Jason Edwards, Jacob Edwards, Chris Shear, Keith Brown, Marcelo Margot. Good luck with that. Sell the NXL. Well, I can't sell it. I mean, if I owned it, I might. Yeah, if I owned the NXL, I'd probably sell it. I'd rather have the cash so I could invest it into something else. But the guys that actually own the NXL, they don't really need the cash. So Sunday was damn hot. It wasn't too hot where I was at. It was like 80, maybe it was 90, which is not hot. I mean, for me, it very well could be, 115. Yeah, I'd for sure sell the NXL. Let's sell the NXL. Who's playing home? Jason. So I thought about it. I would put Keith Brown. Obviously, Keith Brown goes snake side. Jacob, I would put behind Keith to play like backup snake side. Or Marcelo. I mean, Jacob and Marcelo can switch sides really if needed. So you could put Jacob over on the snake side to be snake 2. You could put Marcelo to be the second Dorito guy, and then Chris Shears in the Doritos. Jason Edwards back center, and Damage are going to be good. But, who knows? We've thought a lot of these teams were going to be good. AC Diesel, AC Diesel had like the best roster we'd seen in years, and they're not good. So, who knows? But Damage's, roster's not changed all that much. They just added Marcelo, really. So it's not like they got rid of anybody. They got a bunch of guys. They got Carter Donaldson. They got a bunch of killers over there, along with a bunch of old guys still, too. Like Chad Boucher. You got Brian Smith. You got Dan Holiday. The veterans on the roster. Watch Damage not make Sunday in Ohio. Yeah, who knows, dude? Who knows? It's very possible they don't do well at all. Let's look at my simulations. What did my predictions say? Damage with a 4.9% odds to win. I shouldn't say odds, but 4.79% chance to win the Midwest Open. Marcelo basically taking over for Rainey. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, Damage's roster is pretty stacked, too, so they don't really have, like, any weaknesses. So they could play a bunch of different, like, crazy rosters or lineups and stuff. You got Joey and Kevin Brethauer over there coaching. Grumpy Plumber, would you rather have a mini GS or the original ETHA? The mini GS for sure. 100%. I hated the first ETHA. The ETHA 1, or like the ETHA LT, or whatever it was called, that thing was terrible. I mean, it was like clanky and hard on paint, and it was super loud, and the Mini GS shoots awesome. I mean, the Mini GS at $300 might be like the best value paintball gun ever. I mean, it's damn close, you know. I mean, those guns are very good. I love them. I still wish they'd make like, you know, $1,000 axe or something like that. I'd love to see like a higher end version of the axe. Yeah, they've done it before. They had the Axe Pro multiple times, and more recently with the Empire 6, but I don't know. They didn't really execute that very well. We'll see. I love the ETHA 3. Is PB Fit that much better? Maybe. I mean, if we're talking about like these predictions, maybe. I mean, this is just based off the 2 tournaments this year, right? So, based off how much teams won and how well they did in their brackets and how well they played against the teams they're matched up against coming up. And Paintball Fit, yeah, they've won the last, I think, 8 of their last 9 matches. So they're 8-1 in their last 9 matches. No one else is close to that. They've won 2 tournaments, you know, so they've won far more matches, won more points, have a bigger point spread than everybody, really. So I don't know if they're like, you know, 3 times better than Dynasty or whatever, but so far, you know, that's what we should probably predict because they've done so well. I had an Axe Pro and really liked it. Just too heavy. Yeah, they were kind of heavy. I mean, they were heavy for how, like, small they were. I wouldn't say they were, like, you know, they weren't, like, crazy. But they were definitely a little hefty. I think the maybe problem... Whoop, that's not what I meant to do. The problem, I would say, with the Empire Axe Pro is, like, let's say this is the Axe Pro. That's not what I wanted to do. I just want the image out of this. The Axe Pro, really, I would say the main thing that's making it heavy is this on-off. You know, when you hold it in your hand, you can just feel like this big, huge, heavy on-off. The bodies were pretty light. They just, you know, it was fucking, this on-off was just heavy as hell, for sure. These guns were weird, though. They shot well, and they weren't bad. The foregrip was a little weird to me. I didn't really like the foregrip. They could have been a little bigger, too, honestly. I think it'd be better if it was even bigger. What happened to leverage? Completely fall apart from semi-pro. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, you know, it's not surprising. Nothing against leverage, but we always see that happen. You know? It's like every time a semi-pro team comes up, they always do poor. You know, it's very, very, very rare that you see a semi-pro team come up and get 10th place even. So what Paintball Fit have done is, like, remarkable. Like, no one's ever come close to as well as they've done. I mean, Dynasty, we should say, right? Dynasty definitely did, but other than Dynasty, no one's close in the last 20-something years. And you gotta think pro paintball is only, like, 30 years old. So if you're better than all the teams in the last 20-something years, that's pretty good. Yeah. So, they're pretty impressive. But it's kind of weird, too, because, you know, a Dynasty technically... I don't know, like, Dynasty's rookie year in 2000... Was it 2002? In 2002 or 2001? Yeah. They had, like, half rookie players that had never played pro, and then they had like guys that had played pro before. So Yosh was on the team. He played for the Ironman. You had like Brad Maughan, who played pro before. You had Rodney Squires. You had Andy Copcock. So there were guys that had played pro before. They were on Dynasty. So it wasn't like they were all like rookie players, but it was probably like half guys who had never played pro. Whereas Paintball Fit, it's probably a little bit more than that, because in 2022, I believe, the entire Paintball Fit, most of the Paintball Fit roster played pro under AC Dallas. So they played in that pro division under AC Dallas and did really, really bad though, and then just went back to semi-pro. And then that's the following year, 2023, is when they won semi-pro, and they won all 5 tournaments. And then they went pro in 2024. So it's like, technically they're kind of a rookie team, but also they're kind of not, because like, a lot of those guys played an entire pro season just like 2 years before. So it's, I don't know. I'm like, they're rookie, but like, I don't know. It's a little bit murky on how we actually like define if they're rookie or not. Does anyone know what the true points Fit plays every month in every versus every other pro team? Yeah, I have no idea. So how many points did they actually play a month compared to the other pro teams? Who knows? I don't know. I mean, if the rumors are true, right, and they play multiple times a week, even when the layouts aren't up, they probably play at least 3 times or 3 times more than most of the pro teams. But there are teams like the Russian Legion, like the Russian guys, aren't probably playing as much before the layout comes out. But the Red Legion guys have been doing that thing where they like fly to the tournament like 3 weeks before or whatever, and they like play for 3 weeks straight, like every day. So the Red Legion guys are also playing quite a bit. They probably don't get the layout 3 months ahead. So they have like multiple layouts, because the tournaments aren't even 3 months apart. I don't even know if you'd want it that far ahead. Would you even want it? I probably wouldn't even want it. Fit is the Indian kid studying 7 days a week trying to graduate from Stanford at 14. That's cool, though. Sorta. That's not very cool. Because then you don't have like a life, Which they don't. They just play paintball all the time. Just noticed another lag thing there. Mike Hinman was recently on the Spick and Span show, and I really like when he's on there. I really do enjoy, and I got to give it to Mike and Tom Cole that I really, really enjoy when they come on podcasts like the Spick and Span show. I think it's excellent, Getting out in front of the players and like talking to people about like what's happening and what we want to do in the future, and this is why we didn't do this, and this is why we did this, and like I think communicating that stuff with people is super, super important. Like, it just makes everything better, right? I mean, I think if you're playing in the league, it gives you more clarification on what's happening and why stuff happened, and it makes you feel better about decisions that were made because you kind of understand the logic behind it or the reasoning behind it. So I really like when they come on and just talk about the league, whether it's the WC, the USVXL, the NXL, the ICPL. I really do like that. And it makes me feel good because I watch that stuff and I kind of feel good about it because I feel like Mike and Tom both do a very good job. So it's like reassuring when I hear like, just good stuff. Like, oh, we're trying this, and this is the new up thing we're doing, and we want to make it bigger this year, and whatever we're doing. I really really do like that, and I kind of wish that more people would do it. Right? It's cool to have the leagues do it, but I'd really like to see, like, I don't know, have more manufacturers on. Like Jack Wood could go on, or Simon Stevens, or some of these guys that are also helping kind of like create or push forward paintball. Like I really liked when they had on Billy Saransky, like CEO or president of Die or whatever, not Die, Core Outdoor GI Sports. It is insightful hearing, his takes on everything. I just wish we'd see more of it. But it is really good, at least we're seeing some, and it's kind of a new thing that Tom started to like prioritize or whatever. Old show. It shows that he actually cares. I think that's in reference to Tom and Mike. And for sure, I mean, you can just hear they care when they're talking. It's not just like something they're doing for money, They are full on invested in paintball. I think Tom, I wonder if when Tom leaves, well, who's going to do it? Let's have the Gardner brothers so we can all tell them how much we admire their legal tactics. I don't. It's like, what's Trump's thing he says? If you're not cheating, you're not trying to win. That's the president. Dude, the riots in LA are like, I don't know. It's a whole, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go watch some riot stuff. I gotta go to the bathroom really bad. Keep thinking about the bathroom. It's fucking, I don't know what, all kinds of, the problem with these computers. It's like sometimes it's perfect and like sometimes we have problems. I just wish it would like be weird all the time or not. Like, I don't know. Anyway, okay. Gentlemen, next time, channel members, we're doing a giveaway. We got some stuff we can give away. I talked about that a little bit. I don't know. If you're a channel member, watch Wednesday. We should be seeing a JT ProFlex video coming out very soon. So watch for it. And in the meantime, I don't know.